Hello, everybody. I think we are all here in breakout room C.
Okay, good afternoon, delegates around the world. I'm Jenny, and I'm very honored to be your host for this session. Today's theme is about green horizons, exploring careers that protect the planet. As students who will be part of our global workforce in the industrialized community, it is our goal to keep our country's economy thriving and developed, but at the same time, we have to consider how our actions in the industry affect our environment. There are numerous jobs that greatly impact our environment. That's why right now we are experiencing disastrous changes like climate change, heat waves, earthquakes, flooding, and many more. Hence, the Sustainable Development Goal number 9, net industry innovation and infrastructure, encourages all industries to be mindful of their procedures that could damage our Earth. And in this session, we are proud to have with us students from around the world for an interesting roundtable discussion to talk about these issues in their corresponding countries. Before we start, there will be a sequence as to who will speak first, second, third, and until the last for each question. For example, for the first question, Taiwan will speak first and Philippines to be the second and Indonesia to be the third until Turkey is last. For the second question, Taiwan will be the last since a while ago she was the first to speak while Philippines become first, then Indonesia becomes second. This procedure allows every participant to take turns. 什么听得清楚？可以。Now, after all countries shared their answers for the first question, the inquirers will have to ask a question to their corresponding country. As the facilitator, I will be assigning each inquirer his or her country with whom to ask a question. For the inquirer from Taiwan, you are assigned to ask a question to the Philippines. Please remember this as this will be the same all throughout the exchange. Hence, if you hear the presenter speak, listen carefully and list down questions you can. Again, inquirers from Taiwan will ask a question to a presenter from Philippines, and Philippines to Indonesia, Indonesia to India, India to South Korea, and South Korea to Turkey, and Turkey to Taiwan. Hope this is clear for everyone, so without further ado, let us now dive in and learn different perspectives as we officially start the roundtable discussion. And our first question is what environmental issues do you think are most important in your country and what careers are needed to address them? Now, the presenter from Taiwan will first speak, followed by Philippines, Indonesia, India, South Korea, and lastly, Turkey. After the presentation, we will be asking the inquirers to ask a question to their corresponding country. Let's now begin with Taiwan.
The most important issues in our country is the lack of water issues, and Water Resource Agency needs to address them. For example, the lack of water in Shimen Reservoir caused government to issue the water limits. That's all.
Thank you, Taiwan. And how about the Philippines? Do you know what is question now? What is the question now? Presenter 在回答。他是 inquire。Presenter。先台先给我玩一轮。So the presenter from Philippines, please answer the question.
I think a major problem concerning in our environment in our country is the lack of employment, and I think to create more job opportunities can help fix it.
Oh, okay. May we also know what's happening in Indonesia? Sorry. We can't hear your voice.
Can you hear me? Hello? So the situation in Indonesia right now, we're having illegal logging of trees, specifically in West Sumatra. We're having flood, n- lots of natural disasters. So in West Sumatra, there's a case study that promotes integration of trees and crops for sustainable land use. Program that provides legal access to the local communities that aim to for social welfare and forest resources. Yeah.
How about in India?
So there are a lot of environmental problems faced by India. The main ones are global warming, as there are a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. Also, there is a lot of deforestation nowadays, which results in the warming of the globe. And also, transportation releases a lot of harmful gases, which causes global warming. Air, water, and land pollution are also a problem, as industries release harmful waste and chemicals in the land, water bodies, and in the air, which are harmful. Again, transportation is a reason, as it releases gases which are polluting the air. Plastic production is also harmful, as it takes years to get decomposed, and use of pesticides is also harmful, as it dissolves in the water, under groundwater, so it then later harms us. Groundwater depletion is also a problem in India, as farming in India is completely dependent on it. Plastic production is also harmful, as it pollutes the environment definitely, and takes hundreds of years to decompose. Resource depletion is also a problem as there is overdependence on the resources. And in India, more and more plants and animals are going extinct due to deforestation for plants and hunting and poaching for animals. Jobs that help these problems are environmentalists, ecologists, environmental engineers, environmental health officers, environmental scientists, wildlife research analysts, sustainable development manager, and policymakers. Thank you.
Thank you. And may we also find out the situation in South Korea?
I think the important environmental problem in Korea is air pollution, and I think the job to solve this problem is environmental engineering experts and engineers engaged in technology development to reduce air pollution sources because new skills are needed to solve air pollution, so these jobs are needed to develop technology. Thank you.
And lastly, do we have the same challenges in Turkey?
I think the most major problem in our country is that we have a general lack of water in our country. Uh, the number of lakes and rivers are low in our country compared to other countries in Europe or Asia, and we don't tend to uh, keep them very good. We usually deploy our waste and trashes in several lakes, and that causes the water to pollute. And of course, as a side effect, the environment gets worse and worse and becomes inhabitable. And other than that, uh, by what's the word? By doing jobs like mining without any inspection in several regions also cause the land to get polluted and the environment to basically become inhabitable. And I think uh, in order to prevent that, or in order to slow the effects down a little bit, we could hire inspectors from the government to inspect the companies that does those jobs that harm the environment and our water supplies.
Thank you so much to our presenters. And now it's time for the inquirers. Let's now begin with the inquirer from Taiwan. Please ask a question to a presenter from the Philippines.
Okay, my question for Philippines is, how will this issue affect people and animals in your country? Can you hear me? My questions.
So the presenter from Philippines, please answer her question.
Can you please repeat the question? Okay. How do this issue affect people and animals in your country?
Okay, maybe we can skip to the next one. And please, Philippines, please ask a question to our presenters from Indonesia. So if the inquirers have any questions, please type it on the 那叫什么
Checkbox.
checkbox. So the presenters can answer. Okay, maybe the inquirers can ask you, can raise your hands on the screen. Four. So please, the presenter from Indonesia answer this question.
Okay, I'll answer the question. Okay, the question is, how does habitat destruction in Indonesia affect local and global biodiversity? So, habitat destruction in Indonesia significantly reduces local biodiversity by threatening species with extinction, particularly endemic species such as orangutans, Sumatran tigers, and various plant species. Globally, this destruction contributes to the loss of unique genetic resources and disrupts ecosystem services, affecting climate regulation and increasing greenhouse gas emissions due to deforestation.
Oh, great. And thirdly, inquire from Indonesia. Please ask a question to the presenter from India.
Okay, so my question is, are natural disaster evaluation also held in India if a disaster is predicted to occur?
Could you please repeat the question?
Oh, okay. Are natural disaster evaluation also held in India if a disaster is predicted to occur?
There are a lot of natural disasters in India, and there are many messages given beforehand if there is anything predicted.
and then the people try to evacuate the place and make it less and less harmful for the people, less destructive, you can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Inquiries from India, please ask a question to a presenter from South Korea.
So my question is that what jobs in South Korea have a bad impact on nature, and what are the initiatives your country is taking in order to preserve nature?
Who is answering the question? Facilitator? Oh, okay. South Korea. All right. Can you please repeat your question again? Inquiry from India.
My question was that which jobs in South Korea have a bad impact on the nature, and what are the
Oh,
initiatives your country is taking to preserve the nature?
I see, I see. So what job create a bad impact, okay, in the country, right? And do we have the presenter from South Korea? South Korea? Okay, let me check.
Could you repeat it again?
Okay, sorry. All right. I think based on the question, like what is the job that provide the massive, the huge negative impact in your country? Is that right?
Yes, and what are the initiatives your country is taking in order to preserve the nature?
Oh, and what are the ways your country is doing to protect your place, your environment? Okay. So the first question is, what are the jobs that are very harmful to the environment in South Korea? South Korea? The floor is yours.
I think the job is the looking industry.
So which industry is that?
Um, I think it's the logging industry because Korea has a lot of mountains areas. We cut down a lot of trees to develop mountains areas.
It's the logging industry. And what are the ways that your country is doing in South Korea to protect your nature, your environment? How does South Korea protect your environment?
My opinion, the environmental protection, renewable energy, and the transportation.
Uh, renewable energy.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, South Korea.
From South Korea, what's your question to a presenter from Turkey?
What are the things that the job do you suggest is certainly for the environmental problem?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Uh, what are the things that the job do you suggested? Yes, certainly for the environmental problem.
Uh, so, as I mentioned, the inspectors can basically uh, keep the companies that harm the environment in place, basically giving them fines if they do anything harmful while they are working. And other than that, basically, they can keep. I forgot the word. Hold on. Yeah. I mean, well, they can be like supervisors to each company that harms the environment, that pollutes the water, that abuses the soil and pollutes the land. And they can keep giving them fines if they keep doing that. Other than that, they can work themselves in order to clean the environment by forming groups in order to help the environment as uh, as a whole. Yeah, I think that's it.
Inquirer from Turkey, your turn to ask a question to the presenter from Taiwan.
All right, I'll put in the question in the chat as well. So,
Okay,
Alright.
no sound. Narine, I think we don't have a sound.
I am so sorry for that. I had a little bit of a technical issue with my phone. So, what do you think are
Oh, yeah, I think it kind of chopped the audio, or maybe if you can chat or you can type your question in the chat box, that would also work while fixing your audio.
were you able to get my questions?
Yeah. Once more, I think we can hear you this time.
Okay. What do you think are the main reasons for the poor traffic conditions in Taiwan? Or do you think that infrastructure plays a role in that problem?
I think it's a impressive plan in Taiwan cause this problem. As you can see, the rain in Taiwan is in summer and fall. However, spring and winter did not have any rain. So this will cause the lack of water resource, yes.
So let's skip to question number 5. And our fifth question is, if companies in your country didn't want to help the environment, what can we do? And how can we encourage companies to care more about nature? So now the presenters from South Korea will speak first, followed by Turkey. And let us now begin with South Korea.
In my opinion, providing environmental incentives and elaborating and disclosing environmental incentives can change the company towards protecting the environment.
Well, thank you. How about Turkey?
Well, if they don't want to help the environment, the government could uh, give them fines. But if they continue in their actions, they can take action and shut down the companies themselves. In order to encourage them, though, we could, or the government could, give them exact goals or contracts that if they happen to be helpful to the environment, the government could give them more funds. They could give them more investors. They can make goals like that, and they can encourage the governments to become more greener, to become more green, to become helpful, not harmful to the environment, like that.
Oh, okay, great. May we also know what's happening in Taiwan?
I think the government can launch some policy about that. If the company do well on protecting the environment, can award them. For example, impose fewer tax and then do not well it's the government company. Thank you.
Thank you, Taiwan. How about Philippines?
To encourage companies in the Philippines to care more about the environment, we need a mix of regulations, incentives, and public engagement. Strengthening environmental laws and ensuring companies comply through mandatory environmental compliance certificates is crucial, offering tax breaks and subsidies for sustainable practices and promoting green financing can probably make eco-friendly initiatives more appealing. Recognizing companies with strong environmental practices can foster a culture of corporate responsibility. Public awareness campaigns can educate consumers about the benefits of supporting sustainable businesses, creating pressure on companies to improve their environmental efforts. This combined approach can effectively motivate businesses to prioritize the environment. Thank you.
Thank you. May we also find out the situation in Indonesia?
So, in Indonesia, to encourage companies to care more about surrounding nature is to first enforce regulations by strengthening and strictly enforce environmental laws to ensure the compliance of that said company and to provide incentive like offer tax breaks and financial benefits for adopting sustainable practices and also raise awareness by launching campaigns to educate companies and consumers about environmental benefits. Also, they should promote CSR by highlighting successful corporate social responsibility initiatives to inspire others. Also, the use of social media and community advocacy to hold companies accountable for their environmental impact. Thank you.
Okay, and lastly, do we have the same challenges in India?
Yes. So, if the companies do not want to help the environment, we can make them aware using social media platform. As nowadays everyone is on social media, we can encourage and promote eco-friendly companies, and we can also educate them about the benefits of the eco-friendly habits. Also, government should make strict laws for them, which prohibits them from doing anything that harms the environment. Also, we should promote youngsters or encourage youngsters to choose green jobs. Now, the question arises, how can we encourage the companies to care about the nature? We can tell them about the benefits of choosing an eco friendly habit. We can educate them about the harms if they do not choose the eco friendly habits and tell them about the various eco friendly practices that they can do, which will further profit them. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our presenters. And now it's time for the inquirers. Let's begin from the inquirer with South Korea. Please ask a question to a presenter from Turkey.
이게 빨리 한다고 재촉을 해도 이게 얘네가 쉬는 게 아니라고.
Could you tell me another representative actions that companies take when they need?
I'm sorry, could you repeat it again, please?
Could you tell me another representative actions that company take when they need?
Uh, well, they can improve their technology to be more eco-friendly, and they can take precautions on the jobs before they do, in order to create less pollution by, for example, like I mentioned, improving their
선생님, 근데
emissions.
지금도 약간 랜덤적으로 하고 있긴 한데.
질문 자체를 랜덤으로 하고 있어요. 지금 순서대로 하는데.
I'm sorry, South Korea. Can you turn off your microphone?
So basically, they can improve their technologies in order to create less pollution, and they can teach their workers about how they can be less harmful to the environment while they are working in the workforce. Other than that, they can take more actions in order to not create any harmful damage to the environment while they are working in open grounds, in territories that are infested with animals or rivers and such. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. Next is Turkey. Please ask a question to a presenter from Taiwan.
With the constantly aging workforce in Taiwan, what do you think
I think we can give them some award or money support that they can be apply some program about them so that they can do well and for improvement.
Okay. And inquire from Taiwan. Please ask a question to a presenter from Philippines.
Okay, my question is, what problems do poor countries face when they want to help the environment?
Kindly repeat the question.
Okay. What problems do poor countries face when they want to help the environment?
Yeah. Maybe poor poor countries face significant challenges when trying to address environmental issues like limited financial resources make it difficult to invest in sustainable technologies or infrastructure and conservation programs. Additionally, these countries often prioritize economic development and poverty alleviation over environmental protection as immediate economic needs take precedence. Furthermore, there is often a lack of technical expertise and access to information about best practices in sustainability. International aid and cooperation are crucial, but such support can be inconsistent and insufficient. So these challenges collectively make it hard for poor countries to implement and sustain environmental initiatives effectively. Thank you.
And the inquirer from Philippines, please ask a question to the presenter from Indonesia. Oh, where's the inquirer from Philippines? Oh, okay, maybe you can skip. And the inquirer from Indonesia, please ask a question to India.
So my question is, how do you handle an area where nature is starting to become extinct and the company is not doing anything to prevent it?
Could you repeat, please?
Okay, so how do you handle an area where nature is starting to become extinct and the company is not doing anything to prevent it?
If the company is not taking any steps to prevent the loss of nature, I think that's where government needs to step in and stop the company from doing so and harming the environment. And also biospheres can be made to just restore the nature there. Thank you.
Okay, maybe the presenter from Indonesia can answer the question from Philippines.
All right, thank you for Philippines for asking. To encourage large-scale companies in Indonesia to fulfill their social responsibilities while focusing on profit growth, they should emphasize the government in- inventives by advocate for policies that provide tax breaks or subsidies for companies engaged in corporate social responsibility activities. And also, they should highlight the increasing consumer preference for social responsible companies, which can boost brand loyalty and long term profits. On sustainable growth, show how corporate social responsibilities initiatives can lead to sustainable business practices, reducing cost in the long term and ensuring business longevity. Also, by encouraging the collaborations with NGOs and local communities to create impactful corporate social responsibility programs that align with the company's values and goals.
Okay, thank you. And because the time is up, so we need to come back to the main room. Let's give us a big hand for sharing great insights. And for the next part of our challenge, we will have the free talk to be hosted by Miss Jessie from Yangming Senior High School in the main room. And hence, you can now end this call in this room and let us now go back to the main room. See you there.